CoD is a game about being the best. You want to be the one owning your lobby. How so? By racking up kills, culling in big streaks, and gaining map control. But sometimes that's easier said than done. Hi, welcome to whatever this is. You've read the title, so you know. My name is Matsuki, and this might be a bit of a controversial take. What if skillless matchmaking isn't the biggest issue, but the issue is what surrounds it? Streaks and map design. I've definitely noticed the lack of noobs in my lobbies during Modern Warfare and Cold War, but I honestly don't mind a good challenge. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking isn't actually working against you every match. Sometimes you'll destroy an enemy team, or sometimes the game will be really close. Once in a while, you'll be on the losing team, and all you can blame are your teammates for feeding the enemy's kills. Yeah, it's the same as the usual CoD, except there aren't as many noobs. You can't lobby serve for easier games to stay in either. Lobbies now disband. Yeah, back in Black Ops 3, that's what me and my friends did. Mostly my friends, not me. They check for Master Prestige players and leave if there were any. That's kinda hard to do now, because the rank resets every season. But what if I told you the main reason I don't enjoy my lobbies today are because of specialist weapons, and that includes the Cold War streaks that are just rebranded specialist weapons, aka the hand cannon, war machine, death machine, you know what I'm talking about, and the manually controlled streaks, in the hands of good players. I mean, weren't they tolerable at least in Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare? I mean, back in Infinite Warfare, the rig I complained about the most was the Synaptic rig. Why? Because I perceived the Synaptic rig as the overpowered rig in the game, because propulsion was abused by the better players. They mastered staying high in the sky and using easy to control weapons like the Titan LMG. Also, rewind was abused. Unlike phase shift, rewind wears off faster. They also get all your health back, plus your ammunition. Getting your health back though often was the deciding factor for winning a one-on-one gunfight, if your opponent was slightly damaged. It was annoying. Also another was the kinetic armor or reactive armor. I personally never noticed the issue with it because I just wasn't running into good players using it most of the time. But oh, when I did run into a good player using it, let's just say it felt overpowered. Look at this bolt sponge. Yeah, I hope you all understand my frustration with specialists. I think Black Ops 4 really opened my eyes to the issue about specialists. It's just harder to avoid them without advanced movement, and also they were buffed. For example, Tempest's gun now kills in 2 shots, but it now downs nearby targets, and you also get a self-driving stun grenade that doesn't even allow you to move or shoot back. That's just terribly designed, right? It's very annoying. But yeah, specialist weapons in the hands of good players are basically unbeatable. Now that skill-based matchmaking matches you up with pretty good players in Cold War, say goodbye to your life when someone half-earns their hand cannon. I say half-earns because it's sort of like on a timer still like a specialist weapon, but it also requires you to go on a little bit of a streak, but you know, streaks don't reset on death, so yeah. But yeah, now streaks and map design. I think they go hand in hand together, but let's talk about streaks and then the maps. I'm gonna pick on Modern Warfare first.
Did you say Modern Warfare?
Oh, hi Josh. Yeah, I did.
And not Cold War?
No, I will get to Cold War and a few other CoDs. Just Modern Warfare first. Hardcore Modern Warfare fans, am I right? Well, for example, in Modern Warfare, you can run a precision airstrike, but there's no really good way to know if you're avoiding it on the receiving end. The same could be said about Black Ops 4, and yes, this is the clip I had in my equipment video.
Net call. Hostile Hellstorm inbound.
Did you, catch what happened? My minimap didn't tell me in either situation, and no, trying to scout out where a streak is headed doesn't help either. It's very hard to predict and then also simultaneously get out of the way, if need be. This would be an example of no skill when avoiding enemy streaks. When there's no skill, and you aren't even safe indoors, you may as well leave the match and play something else. Like Infinite Warfare! I think it wasn't perfect, but it was darn close. It just was miles better if you wanted to avoid enemy streaks though. Plus enemy streaks controlled by a player were just pretty balanced. The Scarab was loud, the remote C8 was powerful and defensive, but it was slow and showed up on the minimap. Similarly, the even better streak in the game, the Apex, also showed up on the minimap, except it could fly and it had 2 turrets, but it required a lot more score to earn without dying though. More comparable streaks to Modern Warfare's were the Scorchers, Bombardment, and a Trinity Rocket. Sadly, the Scorchers are pretty much the same as the Precision Airstrike, both are harder to predict. Oh, but the Bombardment! That thing had warning lasers. They gave you a little bit of time to get out of the area. Maybe in MW, instead of a laser pointer for your cluster strike, your character could have thrown a green flare or an orange smoke grenade to alert players that your strike's in the area. A minimap does an okay job in Modern Warfare, but I often found myself dying to the strike anyway. Then there's the Trinity Rocket. That, in my experience, is just a little OP, but I rarely saw people using it in Infinite Warfare. It shoots 2 lock-on rockets before shooting itself as a 3rd rocket that you can control. Modern Warfare's cruise missile version feels a little bit more popular, but it was just 1 missile that comes down. Personally, I prefer the Modern Warfare cruise missile. But how does skill-based matchmaking fall into all of this? Well, I think it has to do more with the combination of maps with the streaks. In IW, the Thor streak was a very fun one to use, but only on enemies that weren't taking cover. Modern Warfare's gunship, on the other hand, was also pretty fun, but most of the time it didn't even matter if players took cover. You could get them if you got like the right angle to send a rocket or a cruise missile right through a window. I know some players love that feature, but I really kinda hate it. I thought it was a step down from what IW offered. Take this clip for example. I'm in the blue covered area on my minimap, and the streaks can't seem to hit me. But then in a Modern Warfare, I can sit as far away as possible from any entrance, and I'm still dying. How's that fun? I'm just being spawn trapped, and there's no way of regaining map control on a map like Euphrates Bridge of all maps. So what I'm saying is that I miss and I want the streaks to have some type of skillful way to avoid them while still being able to play the map. I don't mean to make every map like Azure Cave where 1/3 of the map is safe, but what I want are blue spaces for adaptive players. I'm also saying that yeah, an RCXD or Scarab is fine, as long as it has a loud noise, but actual player controlled streaks that are powerful need to show up on the minimap, like the Apex, the hand cannon, the War Machine, and even maybe a pathway showing where the Precision Airstrike is going to be going. That would be great. Like, is it actually fair to have skill-based matchmaking in place where streaks like the hand cannon exist? It's a point-and-click adventure, basically a semi-auto pistol with insta-kill capabilities, just like hardcore mode, while everyone else is stuck in core mode with 150 health guns. Yeah, you tell me who's gonna win that gunfight if players are on the same skill level. So, is skill-based matchmaking really that bad, or is it exposing the true flaws in CoD? Please let me know in the comments below. Do you think overpowered things should be in the hands of players your own skill level? Or do you think more counterplay is necessary, like blue safe rooms on the minimap, or more flank routes that have more cover, like on the Euphrates Bridge map, so players at your skill level don't get lucky and spawn fluff you into oblivion? Perhaps if we look at how skill-based matchmaking benefits us, we could use it as a way to give more constructive criticism about the things that surround it. Please drop a like if you enjoyed or even agree with my points that I've listed. Have a great day, homies. Peace out.
Okay, mission failed.
That was clean.